the three-language formula. So the broader question that we're asking today is why some states are against the three-language formula. This is something which has existed since 1968. So what suddenly happened that so many people are opposing it? So first of all, the most amount of opposition which is coming is from the southern states, leaders from Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, and Tamil Nadu is a state which has always been opposing imposition of Hindi. In fact, ever since the three-language formula existed, the three-language formula is studying Hindi, English, and modern Indian language in Hindi-speaking states, and for the non-Hindi speaking states, it's Hindi, English, and the regional language. So this is a formula which has existed at school level in all other states except Tamil Nadu, and so this time again, when the center came up with its draft of a new education policy, and the question about three-language formula was discussed, Tamil Nadu was of course the first one to oppose it, and Karnataka also joined the chorus, opposing the formula, because none of the southern states wanted Hindi to be imposed on them. A lot of the leaders said that what is the need of studying Hindi when we're not using the language down south. Shashi Tharoor also jumped in. He made a comment saying that the Congress doesn't have a problem with the imposition of three-language formula, but it should be utilized in a proper manner, in the sense that in the southern states, the students should learn maybe a regional language, and in the northern states, people should study language from the southern states to make it more, to make it better, to make it more comprehensive. Talking about the new education policy, this is something which has been jinxed for a long time. When the BJP government came in 2014, they tried to set up a committee which worked on bringing out the policy for 2 years. The first draft was junked. 2 ministers were changed. First, Smriti Irani was the HRD minister. Then Prakash Javadekar became the HRD minister. After the committee which worked on the policy during Smriti Irani's time was junked after Javadekar became the HRD minister. The new committee took at least 4 extensions to finally submit the policy. The policy that we're talking about, which is in question right now, is the same policy which has been submitted by the second committee, which is the K. Kasturi Rangan committee. And again, there is a controversy over the same. In fact, after the whole backlash from the southern states, the center did amend its policy, and earlier the draft said that Hindi will be compulsory in all the states, but after the backlash, the particular point that said Hindi should be taught in all states has been removed, and it just says that students can take any languages, including regional languages and modern languages. So we have a question from Meena, who wants to ask, so activists in Karnataka are up in arms against the centre's draft policy, which gives primacy to Hindi as part of a 3-language formula. Why? So the answer to this question would be, see, first of all, this is just a draft. There is nothing decided so far. It's a draft which has been submitted by the committee for consideration to the government, to the HRD ministry. And in fact, there have already been changes made to the draft. The new draft says that Hindi is not compulsory. Students can take up other languages also. But why Karnataka is up in arms against? Because southern states have a history of opposing Hindi, imposition of Hindi. Tamil Nadu led the movement. In fact, right now also Tamil Nadu doesn't follow the 3-language formula. It follows the 2-language formula. Another question says, people are misled and politicians play politics with people. I mean, of course, right, this whole, imposition of language is being given a political turn right now because these parties, they haven't got anything from the center, and of course, it's the correct, for them it's just the correct time to play politics on something like imposition of Hindi, because they already keep blaming BJP of polarization and imposing Hindutva, and of course imposition of Hindi in the education system is also one of such things. Another question we have is running a campaign across the nation against Hindi imposition. Eighth scheduled languages as official languages of India. So another person, Srivatsa, is asking us that MPs of Karnataka are opposing the language imposition, and Narendra Modi should declare all 8th scheduled languages as official languages of India. DMK leader and Rajya Sabha member T. Siva said any attempt to force Hindi language on the people of Tamil Nadu will not be tolerated by them. So what will they do? Even after the center came up with a revised draft, the leaders from DMK said that it's not enough, and they are going to launch a protest again. So this has in fact taken a serious political turn. Sachin is saying, I'm from Bangalore, but people do know Hindi, as I'm from Delhi. I don't have any problem. Then why such opposition? Maybe because some people do know Hindi, but then a lot of them don't. And there's a large population in India which doesn't speak Hindi. And these are the people who are rightfully opposing that Hindi should not be imposed on them. Another reader we have says, Tamil Nadu is sensitive to its language and culture, and center is playing with fire. So what about the third language for Hindi speaking state like UP? Yes, so for the third language for a Hindi speaking state, for the 3 languages, one language is Hindi, one language is English, and the other language could be any other regional language. It could be a South Indian language also. It could be Tamil. It could be Malayalam. It could be Sanskrit. So it could be French. It could be German. It depends on what the school has to offer. So basically, the idea is that students should learn 3 languages. Now, why the southern states are having a problem is because they say that we can learn English, we can learn some other language, but we don't want to learn Hindi, because that's not the language they speak down there, and they don't really see a point learning the language. Is Maharashtra part of the pushback? Another question that we have is Maharashtra part of the pushback? They always push back with Marathi. Maharashtra actually right now is not opposing it. I mean, later on if there are reports like that, but right now it's only leaders from Tamil Nadu and Karnataka who are opposing the policy. So another reader we have says there is always a better way to encourage people to learn Hindi. Of course, I mean, if people do want to learn the language, they will, and the system does give them that kind of freedom. But the whole point of opposition is it should not be made mandatory. In fact, the center has also clarified today that it is not making it mandatory. Right now, what the draft says is the revised draft says that students can opt for 3 languages, whatever apart from Hindi. But the whole conflict is not making the language compulsory. So another person says if center is trying to push Hindi forcefully in Tamil Nadu, it will lead to uprising and revolt. So, which is what the kind of reports we are seeing. The third language is mandatory, but Hindi isn't mandatory. Actually, there's no language which is mandatory right now. Everything is optional, and whatever we see right now is the draft, and it's not a policy, and the policy will be formulated after consultations with the government. That's all for today. Keep tracking the print for more.